Get a Job in Tech, episode 117. So I thought I'd talk about kind of what I do, right? As a backup guy, backup person, backup individual, a little bit. So just now, right, actually, maybe 5 minutes ago, something like that, I patched, like Windows patched, basically. So I don't know. I have 40 servers, something like that, or more that I patched. I have more, right? Obviously, right? But it's segmented. So I think I did like 25 today. Then I have another 15 tomorrow. After, a certain time frame that you can do it, right? Because during the day, customers are on the server, so you can't patch it then, of course, right? And so why am I telling you all this? Or what's the point, right? Gary, why do we care? What's the point here, right? Rattling on about these, whatever. The point is, when you get a job in IT or tech, for that matter, right? You can expect to work weird hours that you normally don't work. It's not a 9 to 5, right? Typically, and especially for work from home, you're on call sometimes or whatever. So it means you take your laptop with you, right, wherever you go. And you might check certain things during the day, or maybe on the weekend you just log in. Okay, I'm gonna check something, right? Or you see your phone messages, right? Maybe it's some work. Okay, let me take a look at that, right? And it's not your job. You're not on call, or I mean, you're not like they're not paying for you, for it, right? It's not like a normal job, right? I'll just say that, like McDonald's, right, or Walmart. They're calling you. It means you're coming to work. And when you're off, you're off. You're like, okay, you don't think about this stuff. In the tech field, it's not like that at all, like zero. I mean, and sometimes you are the only person on the weekend. It's figured out, right? It does work that way. And I'll tell you what most companies want is. So let me just tell you something. So a while ago, maybe several years ago, a couple of years ago, 3 years ago, 2 years, whatever, I realized I used to call Commvault, right? Because I don't know certain things I don't know, right? So I would call them probably once a week for just some off the wall thing, whatever that thing is, right? I forget. It's an Oracle backup, but it's unique. It's a unique failure, right? Backup failure that I hadn't seen before. So I call Commvault after trying to troubleshoot maybe 5 minutes at the most, right? And the reason, I got a little crap basically from my colleagues, at work. Like, why are you always calling Commvault all the time? And I told him, I said, because I don't know. What do you mean, Gary? You don't know? Aren't you the Commvault guy? Yeah, I guess, sure, if you say that. But it's fine to say I don't know. It's fine. Don't ever think like you're in IT, you know everything, or no, it never works that way. Even if you know the architecture, say like Commvault, or NetBackup, or some other software, Windows server, Linux server, and then you go to another job. Well, they're going to probably do it a way differently. So you don't know. You can never know everything about the different quirks or different things. They may use Remedy, they may use ServiceNow as their ticketing system. You don't know. Anyway, so I pass this knowledge on to you. When you're in tech, and if you're worried about, oh my God, I don't know, and all this stuff, right? Look, that's what you have support for. These companies have support for Commvault, for NetBackup, for not really Windows too much, because they're kind of hard to get in contact, right? But other companies, yes. Other vendors, if you will, yeah. They have HP, like HP servers, Dell servers, Quantum storage devices, Oracle servers, right? They all have support, so they're pretty good about it, right? Getting back with you. But anyway, my point is this: they're a billion-dollar company, right? And guess what? They do this stuff all the time. Okay, like that's what they do. That's their main job. Okay, you just happen to like do this for 3 hours of the day. If you're working on Commvault, right? You only happen to do it 3 hours of the day, let's say, right? This is all they do. And they have hundreds of people calling them every single day. Hundreds. Hundreds of issues. Hundreds, right? So they've seen everything almost. All these issues, they've already seen it. No, I'm good. I've already seen it. No, I know what the issue is. And whereas you maybe say, oh, I don't know, right? And you troubleshoot after 5 minutes. You're like, well, let me just like take another 4 hours of troubleshoot. No, don't do that. Don't do that. Really, the best way, honestly, is really to, if if your colleagues don't know, seek out your colleagues' advice first. But if they don't know or unwilling to help or a number of things, go to the vendor. That's what they're there for. And what I'm saying, I guess, is in tech, there's no streamlined job. There's no like, oh, okay, you know it and not going to have any problems, because you are going to have problems. It's going to be Friday, and then the NetApp appliance, you're going to upgrade the NetApp device, right? The storage device. And when you do it, the node 1 will go down. Oh God, node, no, what is it? Node A, node B, yeah. So node 1 will go down and node 2 will be upgraded, but node 1 is still not on the new code, right? And you're like, oh, what happened? So you spend, hours on the phone with NetApp, and you can barely hear because you're in the server room, right? And it's loud, and the laptop's not working properly, right? And you're frustrated, but you figure, well, you know what? If I don't do it now, tomorrow the leadership's going to come in and they're going to ask, why didn't you get it back online? And you kind of have to answer to that, right? Plus, you lose trust if you don't do that. So better to just kind of try to figure it out. Plus, you look like the hero, right? You look like the hero at the end of the day. If you do these type of things, stick around and do what's hard in IT and tech, you're going to become the hero. I mean that. You will. Because you're going to find that in tech, most people around you aren't like, how do I say, they're not authoritative. They're not aggressive. They're just going with the flow. Okay? They're just going with the flow. And, really you feel it out with what kind of job you are at. If you go into a job that they have, everybody's there, has been there, say 10, 15 years, right? And you're new person, and they've all done the same job for 10 to 15 years. Okay. They already know what's going on, right? You're just there to fill a seat, basically, right? And to find, you want to know that quick. Am I here just to fill a seat, or am I here to, did they hire me because they couldn't hire somebody else, right? That type of thing. And everybody's pissed off at you because you got hired. You just don't know it. They're just not talking to you, whatever, right? Those type of things. I think I'm going off on a tangent here. I think I started off on this podcast with something I wanted to talk about, and it just kind of morphed into this little deal. So anyway, but yeah, so I guess just the message I want to convey, right, is be prepared, right? Be prepared for anything. Be prepared for anything in tech that comes at you. Oh, you have to do patch all these servers. Okay, I'll take care of it. Usually that's a good answer. Okay, I'll take care of it. You write it down, and you put it in your checklist, and you make it happen, Captain. And don't be afraid to seek out support from vendors, because guess what? You don't know. And nobody knows everything. So thanks, everybody, for listening to this podcast. Please follow me on Twitter, right? And like Gary McNeil IT. Go to the Facebook site, which is facebook.com/getajobintech. And if you so desire, you would like to purchase my content that I have available to everybody, go to getajobinit.teachable.com, or go on to udemy.com and just search my name, Gary McNeely, and I have 3 courses in there. I have a Commvault course. Let's see, I have 3 Commvault courses, actually. So the beginner, which is version 10. Then I have the one, which is like the 20-hour one, right? And then I have, which is the get a job in tech, basically, and earn a lot of money. And then I have the latest one, which I put up maybe a month ago. And that is the beginner for version 11. What I did was a lot of the students said, "Hey, your course is pretty long, right? Can you just tone it down a little bit and make it into like a 1 or 2 hour course that I can just easily digest and comprehend? And by the way, could you get a better lab environment, because I really don't like spending hours and hours and hours actually patching my server on my lab." And I said, "Okay, thank you for your suggestions." And what I did is I created one using Amazon EC2, which, as you know, I may not know this, right? But Amazon EC2, which is an instance, it's like virtual machines, right? The benefit you get is it's patched already. You have an IP address if you want to, and it does cost a little more because you, like Joe's Data Center, who I used before, you have it for the whole month. So whatever that, joesdatacenter.com. You have the ESXi host, right, for a whole month, meaning you can create as many VMs as you want for, say, $35, $60, whatever. Whereas, and it's 5 dedicated IPs, and whereas EC2 it's per instance. So you stand up an instance. Instance is nothing more than a server, like Windows or Linux. And you turn it off, you're not charged. But you are charged for the storage. It's like 10 cents a gig per month or something like that. So if you have 100 gig at 10 cents a month, what is that? $1, right? A month for 10, I forget what, but it's something like that. So all in all, it's like, you're charged for those little things like that. But I think I pay $40 a month for mine right now on Amazon, whereas, I have to turn it off, right? Whereas Joe's Data Center, I can leave that thing on 24/7, and I pay, 40, 60, 80, whatever dollars it is. And there's benefits and pros and cons to that. So yeah, if you want to check out those courses, I'd appreciate it. So thanks a lot and have a great day.